Hey guys, we're back with a makeup video. I'm doing half affordable and half high-end. So basically the point of this is to show you guys that it's not the products that you use, but it's the technique. I also wanted to put out a disclaimer that the foundation is going to look a little dark because they are my summer shades, but I'll show you how to make your summer shade work throughout the whole year, so you don't need multiple foundation shades. But I'm going in with my L'Oreal Trumatch foundation on one side, and then this is the Nars All Day Luminous Weightless, whatever the long name is, foundation from Nars. And the colors are slightly off because I got the L'Oreal one towards the end of the summer and the Nars one towards the beginning of the summer. So yeah, but you won't tell in the end. Then the next ones that are going up against each other is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, both the hydrating and the matte. And then this is going to be the Tarte Shapetape. I do use multiple layers. Then for the two concealers, bronzers, cream bronzers, I'm using Juvias Place for one side and Huda Beauty Tantour in medium on the other. And I will have the shades and everything listed down below because it's going to be a little difficult to go ahead and put that in the video while I'm talking, the voiceover part. So yeah, I'm going to put my makeup in all the same areas I normally do for each side. And yeah. Juvia's Place foundation stick into my skin. I think that tapping helps with blending because you don't want to disturb the foundation that you put down underneath. So always tap and don't try to just like be aggressive and smudge it around the face because you can disturb the foundation you put down. And honey, it's supposed to be soft layers. Okay, now we're on the other side and we're going to start to tap that concealer in or the Tantour in, and to make sure that it's blended. I did go a little overboard on the jawline here, but it's not gonna matter once we're done blending. I haven't worked with the Tantour in a while because I usually just grab my Juvia's Place because it's a little easier just for me to travel with than the Tantour because the Tantour takes up a lot of space. But if it's just like my personal makeup, I am going to start using the Tantour a little bit more because I like the warmth that it gives me. I'm going to use just like a fluffy brush, but still kind of has some shape just to blend my nose contour. And when doing this, you will see that I did use somewhat the same type of brushes from both sides. But yeah, I'm going to use a Real Technique brush just to go ahead and blend out my under eye. It seems like every time I do a video for YouTube, I never remember to wet my sponge. So I took this advice from a girl that I follow on Instagram and decided to, use a brush instead of a sponge. I feel like a brush gives you more coverage, so you have to use less concealer. But it wasn't that hard, needless to say. If you don't have a sponge, you don't have to use a sponge. You can switch to a brush and you'll still get that airbrush flawless under eye. Like, look at that. It's so cute. I'm so happy about it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and switch to the other side. Make sure everything is blended in. And yeah. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share for more content. Okay, bye. You will pretty much see me lifting my lashes out the way, and that's because I have lash extensions on and I don't want to get concealer in them. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to move them out the way without pulling them out. And yeah, once again, you need tapping motions just to go ahead and blend everything together. And really depends on the shape of your face, which way you should put your concealer. But the excess I like to drag underneath where I contour just to give me that extra definition under there, period. For my nose, down the middle, I think I used the Tarte, and then from the center of my forehead, which I'll do in a second here, I I used the Tarte because I kind of wanted to give the face a fair share of equal parts. So high-end and drugstore, but I didn't feel like splitting the nose contour and the forehead. So yeah, but I do actually like the yellow hue, that's a word. I like the yellow undertone that the e.l.f. concealer gives my skin in the center of my forehead. So that's why I went with that one. And the Tarte one, because I didn't perfectly match the shades, is a little bit brighter. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dab on that e.l.f. one anywhere that I see that I want that extra yellow brightness effect. Then we're gonna move on to the lighter layers. I'm using the e.l.f. on one side, just one dot or two dots, because I just want to brighten. I don't want it to be super crazy or have a cast. And then I'm gonna use the Tarte on the other side because we're Team Bright Eye over here. Don't like that. Don't know what to tell you, honey, because it's not gonna change. It's just not. But nevertheless, it's just a look. I feel like trends go in and out with makeup and a bright under eyes. It's a trend that stuck with me and speaks to my soul, and every time I do it, it just makes me feel so good. Also, keep in mind that when I am doing my makeup, I am under lights, so it's not gonna look as bright in person. Like, it's still gonna look bright to the point where like you can see my under eye. I went for the brighter intent, but it's not gonna look scary bright because I know what I'm doing. Like, it's not about to look like I'm casket ready under the eyes. It's gonna look refreshed. So for my setting powder, I use the Mercier in the Maybelline Fit Me. You will see later that the Maybelline Fit Me was not exactly the shade that I wanted it to be, so I did top it off with the Air Spun translucent powder because I needed it to be a little bit more bright to kind of compete with the Laura Mercier honey translucent powder that I used. So that's the only reason the colors were a little off, that I used 2 on the one side and 1 on the other. Me figuring out this is working. And then I'm gonna use my Fenty bronzer on one side. We love a good Fenty bronzer, nothing too crazy. And then on the other side, I'm going to use, oh, I didn't go through yet. I wanted to blend out the rest of my face because I didn't want any harshness. So yeah, I just moved on to blending that out. Now I'm gonna use the Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder, which is a little bit deeper than I anticipated. So I did go in with a really, really, really light hand. And yeah, that's what I'm going to use for my bronzer on the other side for my affordable one. I was going to use my Juvias Place one, but I felt like for the video, it made more sense just to go ahead and use the Maybelline Fit Me because that's something somebody can stop at Target and pick up. Then I'm going to go ahead and blend out the nose because remember we had that cream bronzer sitting there, so we want to make sure everything that we put down is blended. Then I'm going to go ahead and use the Fenty powder versus the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I got multiple shades of the Maybelline Fit Me powder. If you look on Amazon in your area, there's a lot of them that are on sale. A lot of them I think I got for less than $5. So yeah. But those 2 colors that I used are pretty similar. So I wanted my under eyes to be bright, even though I already set them. Then we're going to battle the blushes. This is going to be a blush that I got from Amazon, but it's from Maybelline, and I had to apply a few layers of this to get it to the color that I got my high-end one. I'm not gonna lie, but honestly the face is still giving. Then for brows, I used the Morphe brow pencil on the affordable side, which isn't really a drugstore brand or something you can get at Target, but it is something you can get from the drugstore affordable side of Ulta, which most of the stuff you can get from Ulta. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use that. It's a micro brow pencil, so I'm used to using those. This one that I have from Anastasia, for some reason I couldn't find my dip brows or my brow powder, so I had to use this thick one that I got in a boxy charm, and honestly I'm not really a fan of it. It's a little too thick for me. I feel like if it was a micro brow, it would be much better. So To clean that up, I'm just going to use some concealer. I use the same concealer on both sides, I think. Because it was just giving that it would be too much to try to switch them back and forth. This video does go pretty fast, but I've posted 2 makeup videos before this that kind of gives you in-depth steps of how I do my makeup. So if you guys needed to know what I did, you should probably check into those. This was just solely for the purpose of showing you guys that you don't always have to spend $30 on a concealer and $50 on a foundation just to get that look, okay? You can get that look with a $10 foundation and a $6 concealer. Like, it's really the technique and not the products. And that's just what it is. So don't fall into the hype of thinking you have to buy the expensive stuff, because you don't. For my lip liner, I'm using the Juvias Place Kola liner. You guys should know by now that that is my favorite. And in the center, I'm going to go ahead and pop this nude. I believe this is the one that I got from NYX. And then I'm going to put the Morphe gloss on top. And I will link down below what shade this is, because I have no clue off the top of my head. I bought it a while ago. But this is pretty much the finished look. I still have to add a highlighter, but I was letting you guys know, like, the face is doing what it needed to do, okay? And sometimes I like to push my setting spray into the skin. But this is pretty much the finished look. I mean, if you wasn't watching the whole video and you didn't just watch me do it, I just want to know, would you be able to tell which side is high-end and which side is affordable makeup? Because to me, the face is giving either way, honey. Giving. The only thing that I think stands out a little bit more on one side than the other is my blush. And that's because I caked the one side on. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I love y'all. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye.